everybody, it's Sarah from Carib Cherub, and I'm happy you're watching another video. Today I'm in the kitchen, and I'm going to be talking to you about what my top tools are to make healthy food in the kitchen. And my number one tool, if you have to choose any tool, I say you have to choose a blender. Why? I can live without most things, but blenders are basically amazing. You can make super easy and quick meals with a blender, smoothies and soups. And you can make travel-friendly meals that you can just put in a cup and drink on the go. You can also chop things in a blender too, especially if you have a high-powered blender. And you can make a wide variety of things other than smoothies and soups. Like you can make ice cream and sorbets if you freeze fruit beforehand. You can also mix things easily. You can make sauces easily. You can make like a pancake batter easily, and then it'll be really light and fluffy. You can make your own flours in a blender with a high-powered blender, such as chickpea flour, rye flour. You can ground flax seeds in order to consume them. And also, you can juice things in a blender with the help of another tool that I'm going to introduce right now, and that is a scarf. A scarf can be used to juice and milk vegetables, fruits, and nuts. It's helpful to sprout legumes if you just attach it with a rubber band, like this is. This is not actually a scarf, but this is a stocking, which would also be very helpful. And you can make vegetable broth with it. You use the cloth as a strainer. A cutting board is really useful in the kitchen. And you want a good cutting board too. This is a plastic cutting board. On my website, I say that I want a wooden cutting board, but actually I've turned to plastic. And one of the reasons that I like plastic is because it doesn't stay wet as long. The wood absorbs too much liquid, I find, and plastic absorbs just the right amount of liquid. And I don't like glass because they dull my knives. They can be slippery, which can be dangerous if you're working with wet foods, and they make nasty noises when you use them with sharp knives. And plastic is really the best I've found for spring rolls. But there is some pros about wooden cutting boards. For example, they hold their shape better than plastic, and they can double as hot pads. And you also want to have a small variety of knives in your kitchen. Now, many people have lots of knives, but there are 3 types of knives that I really advocate for everyone to have. So if you have these 3 types of knives, then you have a good kitchen. So one is a chef's knife. This is a small chef's knife, but it does have a wide blade. It's great for slicing, dicing, and chopping. And if you have a really long one, it's great for chopping large amounts of items and chopping larger items in general. And the wide blade, I feel, gives me more leverage and control over thinner blades, like a paring knife. And this wider blade gives me more control when I'm cutting hard vegetables, like carrots. A paring knife is another one. And then it's good for precision tasks like coring fruits and vegetables and peeling potatoes. Not so easy with a really large chef's knife. And then this can decrease the amount of food that's wasted if you do need to do those things. Finally, I recommend that you have a serrated knife. That's what this knife is right there. And I found that it's great for cutting bread because you don't need to worry about the pressure so much, but you just need to worry about the sawing motion to cut through the bread, and you don't want to squish your bread. And then I also like to cut pineapple with this. It gets a really good grip on the pineapple and it slices really nice. It's also good to have a serrated knife if you're cutting fruits that are squishy but also slippery, like tomatoes. Non-stick pan. This is a small non-stick pan. We have another large non-stick pan in our cupboard. And non-stick pans just make cooking a lot easier and healthier. It reduces the amount of oil that you need to use if you do use oil, which I don't advocate for, but a small amount of oil every now and then is okay. But if you use alternative liquids like water, vinegar, and vegetable broth, if you use a non-stick pan, it isn't as necessary to use as much liquid as with non-stick pans. With cleaning, it's so much easier. Food just wipes right out. My final utensil is a pressure cooker. Now, this is an investment. We spent like $100 on our pressure cooker, but I wouldn't trade it for a lot of things in the world. This is probably one of our most used items in our kitchen. It's awesome for creating not only healthy food, but fast food. And you can cut in half at least, or even cut in a fourth the amount of time that you need to cook beans. And then brown rice, after we've soaked it, takes 8 minutes. The other great thing about a pressure cooker is that you don't need to watch it as much. You can let it reach pressure and then you're done. Just set a timer and then come back when your timer has beeped and there's your food. It should be done. You do need to check pressure cooker times, but after you get the handle on pressure cooking, it makes cooking so much easier. And you can do a lot of things with a pressure cooker. You can cook beans, lentils, grains, fruit, veggies, sauces, jams. There's so much variety. And I've even cooked bread in a pressure cooker. Now, I wouldn't advocate for cooking all your bread, but if you need to cook bread, you can cook it in a pressure cooker, okay? The last great thing about a pressure cooker is that it reduces heat in the kitchen. There you go, that's it. And I hope you go on to Carob Cherub Online, read the full version of my necessary top tools to have in your kitchen, and then also read up on other tips for healthy cooking. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Carob Cherub channel, and I hope to see you real soon.